Good morning, Joy Nook Club. I am back for a very exciting month of June. So, happy first Saturday of June, ladies. Let me tell you something. I have a surprise for you. I know you see three beautiful faces up here today. I have with me my co host for the month of June and July and going into August. We have Kiera Michelle on board, and we also have our author for today. She is coming on here to talk about the college strategies. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Linnita Houston. No, that's Hosten. It's Hosten. Y'all know I will jack someone's name up. Let me go ahead and snatch that back. Okay, I snatched it back. Okay, it is not Holston. Okay, it's Hosten. It's Hosten, y'all. Linnita Hosten. She has written a book, The College Strategy, and you know I'm all about a strategy. I'm not about just forming a habit, but building a strategy. Play chess, don't play checkers. Y'all know how I am about that. I love playing checkers because my daddy played checkers. Okay, so y'all don't mess with checkers. But chess takes a different approach to playing. It's all about thinking through and being prepared for that next step. What are you going to do next? What are you really going to do next? And that's what college is all about. Today we are wearing our college shirts. Now y'all know I have on Frostburg, so y'all know I'm representing my baby Selena's school, okay? Because I graduated from UMBC. We have on here, okay? Kiera Michelle is representing Bowie, okay? Let me tell you something. Our children are going to college. It
Yeah.
hasn't stopped. I'm 50 years old. My child is in college. My niecey poo's in college. I mean, people are still going to college. And let me tell you something. When I read this book, I said, what I understood is what she's saying in this book. And I went at a different time. I took 2 years. I went through, Essex Community College. Then I went and got my 4 year education. I didn't just come straight out of high school and do it. So I had already started working. And the things that she said in this book, 100% true. It does not stop being true. And I just cannot wait till we get into the juicy bits and things of this book. Let me go ahead and read some of her bio. Now, don't get all in a tizzy, ladies. Y'all already know I'm going to put all of her information in the description box. So don't be going to get a pen like, oh, I got to get this for my granddaughter. I got to get this for my daughter. I got to get this for my niece. No, just wait, just chill and listen. Okay? Lanita is an award winning author, national speaker, and student success strategist. She teaches high school students how to stand on their own 2 feet after graduation. As a respected education planning professional, Lanita leverages her proven and results driven strategies to facilitate evidence based programming to organizations, universities, and community groups, helping their students achieve their educational goals. Lanita is passionate about preparing ambitious students. And I got an ambitious student on my staff, and she's looking right at me right now to get clear on their plan and confident about pursuing their dream career. Their dream career. Y'all, I'm living proof of a dream career and a lot of other things that's in this book.
Mm.
So, it is with great pleasure and honor that I drop the mic to our author for today, Lanita Hosten.
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction. And we're going to jump right in. Listen, I thought I'd take you right to chapter 1 because I feel the best parts of books happen in the beginning. Be open for business. That's the title. What kind of student were you in high school? Were you an average player, attending classes, and completing just the workload assigned? Or were you an active player, participating in class, creatively completing assignments, and thoroughly involving yourself in school activities? Or were you an absent player, present but socially and academically disengaged? Never mind, don't attempt to answer that question. Here's why. It don't even matter. Once you have set foot on your college campus, who you were and what you did in high school is old news. For some, this is a gift, a chance to start over. For others, it can be eye-opening, a plunge into a brave new world as a small fish in a big sea. In other words, starting a fresh slate in college is like being the first in line at an amusement park. There are no lines, no crowds, no restrictions. You can sit in the front row or the back row. You can take risks on large roller coasters. No one will be there to talk you out of it. You're in control of your experience. You decide if the experience will be enjoyable, worth the money and the time, and whether you walk away feeling fulfilled. College is a broad and diverse opportunity to reinvent who you are and what you know and how you view yourself. As you emerge into a new environment, a new culture, go with an out of the box mindset. Just think, where else and at what stage of life will you be able to experience a time where almost every resource is in one place? Professionals and experts greet you with open arms because they work for you. And academic and career support are standing by for you if you bother to ask. Sounds like an opportune time to take advantage of all that is available for you. For you are paying for all of these resources available. Like a long supermarket sweep where you can just gather in your car all you care to reach for. So, in between the chapters, I have some reflections. They're called college reflections, and they're my own personal story. So, we're going to deviate from that and then we'll come back. It's very brief. During my freshman year of college, I enrolled in a scholarship beauty pageant. I had very little stage experience, no real talent, no public speaking skills, no formal wear, no hosiery, no appropriate swimwear. But I signed up for the pageant out of mere curiosity, well, actually for the money. The idea of competing for cast was fascinating to me. I submitted my application and was selected. I called home to tell my mom to mark her calendar because your girl was contestant number 2 in Miss Black and Gold Scholarship Beauty Pageant. Where are you getting this money from? My mom said. Don't you need a dress, a business suit? How can we afford a beauty pageant? I don't know about that. I eased my mom's worries and told her I had already picked up my pageant gear. I just wanted her, my dad, and Kenzie to come. We practiced nightly for 5 weeks, choreography, random questioning, talent rehearsal. On the day of the pageant, I felt extremely confident and comfortable. I was still nervous, but definitely well prepared. I didn't win the scholarship, but I did take home the crown for Miss Congeniality, also known as the crowd favorite. When the pageant host called my name for Miss Congeniality, the crowd cheered so loudly. I was shocked. I was flattered to be selected. Participating in the pageant showed me that being uncomfortable was rewarding. It exposed underlying skills and abilities that I did not know existed within me. The pageant experience opened my eyes to explore all possibilities, even the unknown. Your turn. Start your college experience by conducting an inventory of all that your campus has to offer. What services are available to students? Where are the common academic resources? What buildings house student services? Take a day or two before classes begin and visit every building. Bring along a notepad and take note of the location of the services that you will use or you may not use. If something is unclear or seems ambiguous, ask the nearest campus professional the easiest question alive. What service does this office provide? After you've done your investigation, plan to attend the campus involvement fair. Every campus may refer to this as something different. It's to welcome students and to encourage academic and social integration. Universities will host involvement fairs at the beginning of each semester. These spring and fall fairs are a one-stop shop to view all available campus resources. If you're serious about wanting to start a new chapter with an open mind, visiting the involvement fair is a perfect start. Ambitious advice: go to the campus involvement fair, leave your email address with every organization or group that interests you. Following the involvement fair, someone from the organization or group will reach out to you via email or text regarding their next meeting. Try to visit at least one interest meeting or initial meeting for each organization you connect with. While at the meeting, attempt to get a feel for the people and the purpose of the group. Go with an open ear, an attentive eye. Take note of the organization structure. How is the meeting being conducted? Is it organized, chaotic, well planned? Also, be vigilant of the leadership style. Is there an opportunity for all to share? Is the environment welcoming and friendly? Are the organization leaders intentional about engaging new faces? Really sit and watch the room. Ask yourself, can I find enjoyment and or purpose in this environment? If the answer is yes, go again. On your second visit, make up your mind. Will you commit or not commit? Do this for every group you think looks of interest until you find an organizational group that you love. When you find that organization that you love, the one that you would consider skipping your study group to attend, make a commitment. Remain active. Serve the organization for a strong year. Make great connections. And when leadership elections come around, apply for that position, girl. If you're great with writing and organizing, consider being the secretary. If you're great with ideas, consider fundraising. College should be your work experience playground. Your involvement should be progressive. Start with being an active member, transitioning to becoming an officer, eventually becoming the leader. Working in these roles will begin to develop your soft skills like conflict resolution, team building, organization, time management, and hard skills like event planning, budgeting, fundraising, advertising. Being equipped with hard and soft skills, combined with your ability to recognize and apply appropriate skill sets, only comes with practice. And I will stop there because it continues on. This chapter, as you see, is very rich. But I think, the vision was to start off strong and reminding students to be intentional about the collegiate time that you have on your campus. So it's called the college strategy because a strategy means you thought through steps and you're applying them like consciously. And I believe as our kids go off to school, their education investment, it's an investment, right? We don't give money away if it's an investment without the intent to get a return on our investment. And the way that we get a return is being strategic about the experience. So I would love for you to grab your copy over at linnitahosten.com. And thanks for allowing me to share some of the chapters with you.
Yes, 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 that's what I'm talking about. See, y'all, I'm telling you, I told you it's good. I know everybody's going to say, Ali, you say every book you have read so far is good. I said, but this is a different good because I wish, number one, I wish I even knew about this book before my daughter went to college. And I honestly wish that I knew about this book before Kiara went to college because it would have been a gift. It would have been a full gift.
A full gift because that first semester was rough. I'm gonna be honest. That first semester was rough. I was a fish in a big sea. It was bad.
and that's why, in the beginning I said to you that this is a timeless book. I mean, of course, I know you're probably going to add things to it, but like Kiara said, Kiara came from a high school environment where Kiara was very active, and then all of a sudden she's placed in a different place and space. And then my daughter went to a little tiny Christian school, and she ends up going to a place that's just a lot bigger. Mm-hmm. But then In her mind, she was like, I can reinvent myself. This is my space.
Yep.
So every child does something different. I think every college student does something different. The
Yeah.
question that I have for you to just kind of get us started, because oh girl, I got a few. I have a few. When your mother said to you, because I loved when your mother gave you that money, and she gave you that little bit of advice, right? And you said, I took the cash and shook my head in agreement. Your mother said, I need you to make this work. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I know myself as a mother, I left my daughter with something. And she did, it wasn't until honestly this summer, she got it. She got it. So when your mother said that to you, can you talk about that just a little bit and how that really fueled your fire?
Yeah, my parents were white collar workers, well, blue collar workers. They worked hourly jobs. They worked really hard. My parents worked every holiday, every weekend.
Yes.
I remember times when we were bringing my mom her Thanksgiving meal to work. And Christmas, we would wake up really early or we would stay really late until she could get home.
Yeah.
So college was a big deal for us. It was like an unknown and exciting time, but
Right.
one that was expensive too.
Right.
And so to even get to the campus and to have every need met, I had a printer. I had nice bed sheets. Like those are small things, but they are big when you don't know how you're even going to be in this new environment. And so when she told me, I need you to make it count, that's like, we've invested all that we could to get you to this point. The rest is on you.
Yes.
Like, this is time. Now it's time for you to do your part. We did our part to get you all the way here, and you're well equipped. So
right.
It's on you now. So it's almost like they gave me the ball.
They passed that baton like it was.
Yes.
So now you got to take it and do what you will with it. I when I read that, I was just like, you caught me right there. As a mama, you caught me. You really did. Kiara, do you have anything that you want to say before I ask my next question? Because you know me, I'll start rolling on you.
Go ahead and roll with it. I'm good on that one.
So now this book is for college students. Have you thought about writing one for parents to help to navigate through all of this and to take, and kind of the same format, but our advice, that we would give?
No, I never thought of that.
Look at me giving ideas.
You never thought of that?
I never thought of that. The only thing that I had thought of was preparing elementary and middle school age kids to be career minded.
Gotcha.
So they can make a connection between why they're going to college. As of right now, they just think they go because you do it next. But no, I never thought of that. Okay, I'm taking notes.
Just something to put in there.
I need you to stay out my brain because that's all that I thought about either. It is because I was like, I'm gonna get these good grades so I can go to college. Now that I'm college, I'm like, what do I do? I don't know. But that kind of brings me into one of my questions is like, how did you feel that first semester? And if you called your parents home for advice, did they give you exactly what you wanted to hear?
No, they sure didn't. In their mind, they like, listen, I'm spending all this money, so you better be up there. I don't want to hear no complaints. I don't care about that little roommate situation you got. You better be passing them classes. No. I felt very well. Actually, when they drove off, I think I mentioned this in the book. I teared up because it was reality that I was alone. Like for the first time, like for a long, unexpected time, they wasn't coming back. So I was a little scared. But then once I got used to, doing what I want to do, I wasn't scared no more. And I had a great first year. But I would attribute that to just the kind of personality that I have. I like people. I'm very social. I will talk to anybody. I will try anything. And so I was doing exactly what I mentioned in that book. I was going to all those things and looking at people and testing out and being the social butterfly.
Right.
So I would say I had a great first year. I had a great first year. It didn't get hard and difficult until my junior year.
Yeah, because that's when all those I call them the classes for your major start. the for real classes.
Yeah.
So what advice could you possibly give? Because you're an extrovert.
I am.
And what advice would you give for, a student that is an introvert? They may do well, in the classes, but they struggle with, some of this ambitious advice that you put in here. Because I already know I'm an extrovert.
Yeah, why you calling me out like that, man? You calling me out in public.
But that's okay, Kiera. That's why you're here. So do you have any advice that you could possibly give to a student that is more of, an introvert?
Well, one of the things about introverts that I admire is that they're very strong observers. And you will know if a place feels good or if you feel like the people are genuine. You have a better assessment of that than an extrovert who is just like the fly on everybody's wall. And so when you feel that genuine connection, you feel like people are really trying to be inclusive and friendly, respond. You can even say, I'm a little shy. I may look like I'm not, but I'm real shy right now. Like, just call it out. I say the same thing when you're interviewing and you're nervous, your armpit sweat and your whole backside wet because you're nervous. Call it out. Like, listen, I am so nervous right now. I really want to be here, but if my words are not making sense, it's because I'm nervous. Like, put both you and the listener at ease. That would be my advice.
That's some good advice. Kiera.
Hey, I'm nervous. Let's put that out there, okay? Yes, I've done radio before, but this is different. I'm nervous, okay? I'm sweating hard.
That's okay. That's okay. She's a good interviewee.
But I've taken your ambitious advice. I've taken it.
Do you feel a release? Like
a little bit, because my major is print journalism communications, and you said reach out to people. My advisor gave me the head football coach's name, and so I'll be like reporting on sports and stuff coming this fall. So I was like, look at what this book did for my life. Okay, y'all both got dance? Really? That's what you do?
But that's good though. It lets her know, Kiera, that even someone with an introverted personality can glean from this, and and then it brings in someone that is an extrovert. Actually, it brings them in so that they can have, I think, a clearer focus, because like you said, we're butterflies. We'll be everywhere. Because I know me, I like going around camp.
Yeah, I've been learning everybody's name. Nobody know my name, but I know everybody's name. Hey, Angela. Hey, Danny. They know me.
Right. And it's just like, what can they do for you?
Yep.
So
that makes me think about my next question.
Okay, good.
Because you graduated a couple years ago, correct?
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
Could you imagine yourself being in college during this virtual time? Being the social butterfly that you are?
Listen, I had a hard time being at home as an adult. I had a hard time. Like, I was in therapy. Like, I'm having withdrawals. Like, I don't even know who I am anymore. So no, I have a hard time. That's a really good question. I would be probably struggling with social isolation. I'd have to find a new social regimen, especially if I had already started on campus and then I had to be virtual. Like if I had got a taste of it,
right?
It would be tough.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sure I can just imagine. See, I'm an old head, so I'm an OG. So I would have been like, oh, I'm still going to school. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. But you
So,
saving a whole lot of money. Every
mhm.
student who went to school last year and this year, they have saved at least a good, depending on
Oh,
what they paid up front. They didn't
yeah.
pay their housing, then they saved a lot of money.
Amen. To the mama over here, to the mama that was paying. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness, COVID was a blessing for us.
Mhm.
It really was. So I know that one of the things that how you break it down is that your college life is a business. And the chapter with showtime attendance. I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I am 17 years of HR management right here. Did not graduate with a business degree. I graduated as a social worker with the
Okay.
social work and psychology degree. And and some things were said in there that I really I'm trying to get to my chapter 5 so that I can get to it because I did not put a sticker there. All right. So the quote, y'all, says, be active in creating the spaces you want to be a part of. No person for college, university can do that for you. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's coming from a 2011 graduate. When writing this chapter, why did you want to make sure this information was put into the chapter of Showtime attendance?
Yeah, I think when you're in something, we have sometimes there's less consciousness about appreciating it and being fully present. It's
Mhm.
almost like we go out of routine, it's obligatory at this point,
Yeah.
and it's really a privilege. And
Mhm.
in your ability to be present and to be active, there's value in that, like really being cognizant. Every day I wake up today like, I'm privileged to be here. Who can I connect with? I'm privileged to
Mhm.
be here. What can I learn differently today?
Right.
I'm privileged to be here. Who can I talk to today? These are
Right.
people that, and people, conversations, and connections that you, let me rephrase that students whose friends are not privileged to go to college will
Mhm.
likely never experience.
Right.
And so, how you show up, your attendance is more than just you attending class, but being fully present in
Yes.
the collegiate experience. And then reminding you paying for it, sis.
Mm.
You paying for it. How you gonna be absent for the thing you paying for? Like,
Mhm.
well, now.
I love that wisdom right there. I love that wisdom right there. And I say that because I think a lot of students that are privileged to go sometimes do not see the benefit,
Yeah.
and they dismiss they miss the experience of
Yeah.
it. They really do. They miss the experience. And I really did. I enjoyed that. And as someone that is in HR, I thought, this chapter was good to put in there because it's really setting up clear strategies for these college students to follow that makes sense. Because then you won't be looking at me wanting a job, and you can't even, if I asked you, please tell me an example of how you did XYZ, and you sit
There
there
you
going,
go. There you go.
that the conversation is over, and then you looking at me when I say, oh, okay, well, thank you very much for coming in and for your time, and you're like, oh man, the
That
interview
was
was 10.
short.
Mm-hmm. That's because you had nothing to say because you didn't do anything. So I
Mhm.
did.
I'm gonna be ready when I go back in the fall.
Oh yes,
I'm gonna be
she is.
ready.
Yes, she is, because I'm working her. I did it. I really did. I enjoyed the whole book, and I think I'm telling you, parents, pick this up. Grandmas, aunties, godmothers, pick this up. Please, please, please. Your college students need a framework.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is. They can put their own stuff in there, but this
Mhm.
framework, is really important. Is is there any piece of advice that you know now that wasn't in the book that you would like to share with the audience?
You know, I wish I had taken more responsibility of my financial plan to pay and repay, to pay for school and to repay my loans. I wish I had greater understanding. I wish I knew what I was signing. I wish I understood the money I was requesting on my FAFSA to use. I wish I understood that. So if I could go back and write the book, another part of the strategy would probably be, as cumbersome and mundane and time consuming and all of the not good feelings that you feel about doing scholarship applications, do them. I wish if I could go back and do that. I ended up owing $29,000 when I finished my undergraduate degree, and people say, okay, that's not a lot. And with interest, it doubled to 53,000, and it's still climbing. I remember, like, for 6 months, I was aggressively paying more, and the balance was still increasing. So now I wish, like, even though I did feel like I did my due diligence by staying in state, by paying some semesters out of pocket, I didn't do my due diligence when it came to scholarships. I did like 2 or 3 applications here and there, and I was like, I'll just take out a loan. It's not a big deal. I wish I could undo that mentality.
I do think we tend to forget about it after high school, that they forget scholarships still exist beyond that.
Yeah. Yep.
Y'all
And it's
heard?
so easy. Like, why wouldn't you just get the money that you're gonna get? Like, why wouldn't you just go get the money that they're gonna give you anyway? Why wouldn't you just take that?
Right.
It's easy. Just withdraw, transfer, pay. Okay.
Right.
So yeah.
No, I think you just said something right there. I mean, we always talk about, oh, we need to teach our young people how to balance a checkbook and how to have a bank account, savings, and things like that. But also, this is a class. What you're saying is, a lot of young people aren't realizing that the money you're going to make when you get out of school is not, it's not as much as you think. It's way more than you were making. So I'm not going to take that from you. Okay. But when you look at what your loan payment's going to be, and then some people don't have a car, so they want to get a car so that they can have transportation to get where they're going to this new job that's somewhere else. And then some people are like, I don't feel like following my parents' rules. I've been out of college. I've been in college and da-da-da-da-dee-dee-dee. And guess what? That's called rent, gas and electric. So no, you just said something that I think is something important. And I think as parents, some of us have been away, like some of us have gone to college and some of us have not. And when it comes down to financial aid, even and I thought that I was well versed in a lot of things, but because I didn't stay on campus, I'm looking at things a little bit differently when she started going. And so I think that's why I had asked that question in the beginning. Did you ever, have you thought about having a book, a strategy for parents to just kind of, balance this?
I mean, they might need one though. They need one, I think.
We don't talk about me.
Not just you. Not just you.
Linnita, you hear this?
Y'all got my wheels turning.
So all that I'm saying is that everyone, we could go on and on, but I want you to pick this up. If you have a college student going to school, pick it up, give it to them, wrap it up in a nice ribbon and give it to them. Okay. One of my nephew, he is now in the Navy. He said one of the best books that he received was from my mother, who gave him an etiquette book when he just started high school. And at first he thought, well, why is she giving me this book? And he said, but he actually sat down one day and just read it because it was like it was small,
Mhm.
so you could get through it. He was able to navigate interviews because of that book. He was able to get positions that otherwise he wouldn't have been able to do if he didn't have that book. And that's what I see this book being. Something that a student would think, I don't need it, but when they start reading through it, one day it's going to click and it all just
Yeah.
falls in line. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to conclude, conclude this book, like, it never makes me doubt my age again. Cause I'm only 19, but I feel like I'm just going at it, like going at my business. Like one of the last quote in the book, you said, age is never the sole qualifier. Maturity and skill set will open doors beyond your imagination.
Yep.
That was what you said. That I was good.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, never doubting my age again. I'm gonna just keep going no matter what people say. I'm not too young. I'm good.
Never too young.
I know that's right. Well, before we get out of here, I want to give our author for today an opportunity to any last words of encouragement she might have and to let us know where we can pick this book up. And y'all don't go running to get a napkin to write on. Remember, all the information is going to be right up in the description box for you to get to. So, Linnita, let us know where we can find your book and any last words of encouragement that you would like to give the listening audience.
Absolutely. When we're having conversations with our kids about going off to college and we celebrate them, after we celebrate them, let's hold them accountable to having a plan. That's it.
Mm,
It's my desire that we have people where our students are very clear about what they're aiming towards and they're being intentional about
yes.
meeting their milestones and goals to reach their dream careers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need help with that, help with planning, any coaching services, feel free to reach out to me. You can do all of that, including purchasing the book at linnitahosten.com. And there you will find the opportunities for your student and I to work together or just to grab the book for them. But it's a privilege to do the work that I do. And I'm very grateful that God is using me in this way. And if you can't tell already, I absolutely love being a part of other students' villages. So
Oh,
thank you for
yes.
having me today.
Oh, you are most welcome. Kiara, do you have anything else that you would like to say, my co-host, before we close out?
I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
You did good. You did good. All right, Joy Nook Book Club. I want to close this out with something. One of the things that I want to remind you of, we had an author on here a few weeks back by the name of Cortland Jones. And he and I have begun a wonderful friendship. And he has been a blessing to so many young people, so many young people. And this young lady right here is a product of that. He is, her mentor in writing and publishing this book of hers.
Yes,
And remember, we said it when he was here that, ladies, we know some people. And I know he is so very proud of you because, I mean, girlfriend, I am. And I'm glad you said yes to us to come on here to share your work and to share what you are doing because you are about your business.
Thank you.
You are about your business. So I want to close us out with this Joy Nook Club. All right, let me find. Y'all see my little tabs, and I was trying to figure out which one am I going to read. But at the end, Linnita has advice from college graduates, and it's 100 different pieces of advice, and they all connect brilliantly. But I wanted to read this one. And it says, study your career outside of the required school courses. Find out what other fields tie into your career path and take classes in them to help you become fully knowledgeable and well rounded.
Mm.
Understand where you start doesn't mean that's where you're going to finish. Just because, and I even said this, I got a degree in social work and psychology. Went for a job interview, y'all, for a social work position, and was actually offered a position as an HR manager. Who
Wow.
would have thought? God knows where to place you and who to place around you. But because I was open to something different, I knew nothing about HR management, but that opened up other doors for me to do other things. And that's what you want for young people. You want them to be open for new things
Mm.
that may not be what they started off with, but they will understand that, you know what, this is part of the strategy. Because I looked into my career, I know that I can go forward, I can go left, I can go right, I can jump, across diagonally, however they can maneuver. And that's what you want for young people, because in this new norm that we are working in, things are different. Before we used to go to get a position where we're sitting in front of a desk, in front of a monitor, and now our monitor is in our home. And so our young people need to learn how to manage their time at home. There's just so much to this. And this book is so relevant. I got my little note on there for my daughter. I'm sorry, y'all. Because Selena, I want you to read this book. It's a good book, and I would put it on her bed. So again, Linnita, thank you for your time and spending it with us. And Joy Nook Club, remember that sustainable habits inspire mindful transformation to help you get your shift right. Ladies, remember that self-care is the best care. Peace and blessings.